and I'll brace myself for all this pain, erase myself and start again, and I'll face myself with honesty, erase myself and start again, yeah, yeah. I can't remain without the refiner. It's time to change what used to define me. Resist the pain, I have to keep fighting. Ignite the flame that's deep down inside me. It hurts at first, but worth all the pain to see myself and not be ashamed. It hurts at first, but worth all the pain to see myself and not be ashamed. And I'll brace myself for all this pain, erase myself and start again, and I'll face myself with honesty, erase myself and start again. I toss and turn, and tick by tock the hours burn, pleading for this night to end. A part of me begging to go back to sleep. It sure is easy, but not for me. So here I am with all I have, waking up, facing what's in front of me. I won't back down, I can't stop now. I'm waking up so I can start to dream. just in front of me. I won't back down. I can't stop now. I'm waking up so I can start to dream. So here I am with all I have. I'm waking up. I'm facing what's in front of me. I won't back down. I can't stop now. I'm waking up so I can start to dream. Your smile so deceptive that it almost looks real. Well, it must be hard to fake what you do not really feel. You're hiding, I know it. Tell me what's on your mind. I only wish to help. Won't you let me back inside? Say that it's over. Tell me the truth just one last time. I promise I'll help you. If only you'll let me back inside. Let me inside. Your face shows no reaction when I call out your name. Your presence like a ghost. You seem so far away. And you know that I love you, but the words seem to have died. I just want this to end. Please let me back inside. Say that it's over. Tell me the truth just one.
Well, good evening, folks, or good morning, good afternoon, good night, whatever time it is, wherever you are in the world. Quincy Kane here, and this is live stream number 162. And for this stream, I'm going to be sharing with you guys the process I go through for songwriting. It's my favorite part of the songwriting process. If you've ever had an idea before, whether you fantasize or dream or just come up with stuff like, hey, that'd be kind of cool if you're a creative person, it's one thing to come up with the idea in your mind, but it's another thing to bring it out into reality. And a lot of times that's what happens with music. You start with just an idea and you pick up an instrument and you kind of play around with it, figure it out, and it's like, okay, and you can imagine what it could be, but you don't actually have any kind of tangible or physical form of that to listen to or showcase. And so my favorite part is when you start working on the demo for the song, when you start the early stages of recording and you're just kind of bringing all the instruments together and sort of getting a feel for what the song could sound like. And I've always loved it since I was a kid and I first started recording music. I always loved the process of recording the individual instruments and then just sitting back, hitting play, and just listening to my song come to life. It's always been my favorite part. So that's kind of what we're going to do today. I'm going to sort of share with you guys how I go about doing that. But first, let's catch up with the chat. And let me ask you, how well can you guys hear me right now? Usually these mics, you're supposed to be a little bit closer to them. And yes, I'm going to be louder if I'm closer to it. But I'm going to be moving around a little bit. So I thought I would just turn up the gain a little bit and try to keep some distance. So let me know how my voice is coming through out there. If I need to get closer to the mic, then I will. But if it sounds okay here, then we'll go with that. Let's catch up with the chat. We've got Lady C and Jack in the chat. Hope you're all doing well. And we got Dynamite in the chat. Hope you're doing well. Appreciate you tuning in. Let's see what we got going on here. Lady C was saying, yes, I put out one video last Friday, and the other will be tomorrow. Awesome. Yeah, Lady C had a couple. I think they're both originals. Is that correct? And which is awesome. That's super exciting. It's so cool that you're putting out your own original music. And so I'll definitely check out that one video. I might have missed that one. And I'll be looking forward to the one that comes out tomorrow. So awesome stuff. That's super great. Jack was saying, I think it's on YouTube if you want to see it. Got to warn you, though, it's Canadian. He was talking about a horror film that he'd watched. Sounds like it came out in the 80s called Curtains. Hadn't seen it, hadn't heard of it. Maybe I'll take a little peek at it, but I don't know. We'll see. I'll have a look at it, and I actually watched a scary movie fairly recently. I can't say it's one of those movies that's really well crafted, but all right, how do I say it? All right, so it was a Korean film called The Wailing. I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but I had it on my Netflix watch list. I can't even remember why I originally added it, and it was going to be leaving soon, so I was like, I guess I'd better watch it soon if I'm going to. And I saw that it was a horror film, but I started watching it, and it's one of those movies where it's just interesting enough to keep you watching, but to me, it didn't bring enough satisfaction. Like, I really wanted a lot of answers or a lot of clarity. I wanted to really be on the same page with the characters, but it's a very kind of ominous, kind of artsy film a little bit, like the way it just sort of presents things. It doesn't really, and there's nothing wrong with that, but I think it helps to kind of give your audience some clue as to what's going on rather than bringing it all together at the end. Plus, it was a pretty lengthy movie, so there was a lot of really cool concepts in it, some really interesting, just a really cool, interesting for the plot, concept for the plot, but ultimately, I just found it more frustrating. I also found the characters very frustrating, especially in horror movies, when characters are just really dumb. That just frustrates me, and and it's more of like a kind of a supernatural horror movie, so it's not like a slasher where a bunch of people are getting killed, although there's definitely some blood in it. So anyway, not quite my cup of tea, but I did watch something recently. I'd also been watching a lot of the Fast and Furious movies. I watched Fast 5 and Fast 6, and I remember really liking them a few years ago, but I think they're just a little too over the top for me. I like action that's a little more grounded and not quite so ridiculous. But they're fun movies. All right, let's see here. Yeah, Dynamite was saying, cool idea for a stream. I love the creation process too. Well, awesome. Dynamite, I know you make some of your own music, so definitely feel free to ask questions and leave comments. And that goes for anyone. If you have questions during this process, let me know. I'm not going to be performing tonight because I'm going to be showing you guys how I take just a simple idea and we're going to see what happens. So it's a discovery process, which is what I love so much about it. I always say that songwriting is more like discovering than actually making. It's not so much that you know exactly what it's going to be and you just set out and make it happen. It's more like, oh, this is kind of cool. I wonder what happens if I do this or if I try that. You kind of just play around with it and you see what you discover. And then you just keep kind of digging and digging until you refine it into something that you really like. Let's see here. Dynamite was saying, yeah, hearing it all come together is the best. Yep, I love that. It never gets old. It's my favorite thing every time. And Jack was saying, I sound clear on the mic. Good. All right, cool. Thank you for sharing, Rebel. Rebel, appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate you sharing. That means a lot. Hey, Silas, hope you're doing well. Appreciate you tuning in. Speaking of all this stuff, I'm finishing some writing too. That's awesome. Yeah, definitely let me know when you get some songs released, Silas, when you post them, and I'll check them out. But we're going to be talking all about songwriting. So if you have any questions about that and the creative process, feel free to ask them. I'll do my best to answer them. And then Dynamite commenting on Lady C's song with Sal was amazing. Yeah, I'll be sure to check that out. And the one tomorrow is an original, but it's a collaboration with Sal. Okay, did you do two collaborations, or I might be misinterpreting something there. And he already posted it technically. I got you. Okay, I just made a video to go with it. I see. Okay, so cool. Well, I'll definitely check out the video when it comes out tomorrow. I think I'd heard of The Substance as well. I've heard it's kind of a body horror movie. Don't know if it's up my alley. I'd be willing to give it a chance, but I don't know if I'm going to go out of my way to watch that. Quincy, have you ever written a song for a girl you had a crush on? Absolutely. short version of the story, I remember when I first started writing songs, I really liked singing, but I didn't have anything to sing about. So I kind of just wrote about the things like that the artists I was listening to, like I just kind of copied what they were writing about, but I didn't really have anything to say. And it wasn't till I was in high school. I'm going to give you the short version of this story, but there was a girl that she's the only person I've ever loved. I wasn't the kind of person to just date around and try people out. I was looking for someone that I could see myself spending the rest of my life with. And I found somebody, and I thought it was going to be happily ever after. And when things ended between us, it was the first time I really started to question my value as a person. Like, what's wrong with me? Why am I not good enough? And after that, I started paying attention to the words of songs, and there were a lot of songs that the lyrics, for the first time, really started to stick out to me. Like, oh, that's why people actually care about the lyrics, because when you can relate to them, it's like, it's really powerful. And so I definitely wrote a lot of songs about heartbreak and not understanding that. Definitely wrote a lot of love songs when I was younger, and then when I was starting to graduate and get into my young adult years, I wrote a lot of songs about like the future and like what's ahead, like where am I going in life, that kind of thing. And the funny thing is, I'm starting to write some new songs now. Some of you guys know that the songs that I have released, they're all really kind of older songs, and now I'm getting into new territory. I've actually been working on some new songs. I think I've got a couple new ones that I'm going to be performing on these streams soon. They're not quite ready yet, but they're almost there, and I'm excited about that. And so I'm kind of curious myself, like what I have to say. I've definitely been doing a lot of self-reflection, so we'll see. I don't know if I'm going to be writing any love songs like in the positive sense of like, hey, I like a girl, here's a song about that. But I definitely think I still have a few love songs in me about heartbreak and learning how to deal with that and that kind of thing. Just because I have a lot of thoughts to explore with that particular topic. But I have written like the happy, cutesy love songs too. But that was a long while back. We got Leo in the chat. Hey, Leo. Did you get a haircut? I did. Yeah, I don't know if you were at the last stream, but yep, my hair was pretty lengthy, and a week ago I got a haircut. So, yep, it's shorter. Let's see here. Yep, good to have Leo in the chat. Yep, a little bit of conversation happening. Cool. And then Leo was saying that, yep, you guys are talking about Wicked right now, the movie, not the play. Yep. Cool. All right, well, guys, I think we're going to hop into this. So let me bring up my project so you guys can see it. Here we go. So here's where things start. And again, if you have any questions at any moment during this, feel free to ask them. So basically what happens is I'll just kind of have my guitar, I don't know, I might think of an idea in my head and I pick up the guitar and try to play it. Or sometimes I have the guitar in hand and maybe I'm watching something, I'm kind of noodling around and I'm like, hey, whoa, that sounded kind of cool. And I kind of play around with it for a bit. And once it sort of develops into an idea, I'll just record it on my phone. I've got a voice memo app and I just record the idea on my phone. And then later I'll play with it. I would say that's the earliest iteration of an idea. And it's the same thing if I have a vocal melody, I'll kind of sing it. If it's something on piano, whatever the instrument is, if it's a drum beat, if I have an idea and I'm like, I kind of like that and I just want to remember it for later, I just record it on my phone. So I came up with an example riff. This isn't, I don't know if I'm going to turn this into an actual song. I'm not planning to turn this into a song. I mean, if it comes out like really cool and it feels appropriate, then maybe I will. From the sound of it, it kind of sounds like a fun idea. I can't say it's like, oh, this is something I absolutely have to make. But I just wanted something that would be kind of fun to play with. So I came up with a riff. I recorded it on my phone, and I'm going to show you guys. So this is kind of just what it sounds like at the beginning. And you can hear no distortion. So it's literally just my unplugged electric guitar and no distortion, no amp or anything like that. And I'll just kind of play something and I'll record it. Now, sometimes I didn't do it for this, but a lot of times when I play something, I'll then play it again slow so that I can remember the notes. So I would record me going. And sometimes I'll even give instruction, like I'll say, okay, I'm using my pointer finger here and I'm sliding up, especially if it's chords, I break it down like what notes I'm playing and what fingers I'm using to play those, where I'm playing it at on the guitar, because I can't see it, I can only hear it. So I'll give myself like a bunch of info to sort of work with. But that's the basic riff, and I'll even, let's see, I'll play my guitar, we'll do it, let's see here. We'll do it with the distorted tone, so this is the riff. Okay, so just a little simple riff, but a simple idea like that can spark so many other things. It starts like that, but as you start bringing it to life, your ear starts to catch these other things like, oh, it'd be kind of cool. I can hear this melody that could be played by a lead guitar, or it'd be really cool. I can hear the drum beat that I want, or hey, I could go into this chord progression next, or whatever it might be. So I'm really just improvising a lot of this on the spot. We're going to kind of see what happens today. This isn't like a song I've written before. It's just an idea I came up with for an example here, and we're going to see what comes out of it. I see we got a few other people. Hey, we got Stan in the chat and Indy. Appreciate you all tuning in. Let's see here. Yeah, I'll catch up real quick. Oh, thanks. Leo says, haircut looks nice. Appreciate that. Let's see here. That's right. Jack was saying I asked about the song because Valentine's Day is coming up. I don't know if... let's see. I know the next song I'm going to release is A Mirror That Was Broken, and that talks a little bit about love and heartbreak. So I think that's going to come out after Valentine's Day, though. Don't think it's going to come out on that. Maybe this one we're working on tonight. Maybe this could be a Valentine's Day song, We'll see. Interesting. Stan says, in my opinion, I think you keep getting better. I'm not sure what you're referring to there. If you're talking about songwriting, well, thank you. I appreciate that. If you're talking about something else, I don't even know if you're talking to me or somebody else. Let's see. Yep. Indy was tuning in. It's probably going to be a song. Yeah. I don't know. I was just messing around. So. And then, yeah, Leo saying, oh, I can totally hear a cool Quincy song. Ken, yeah. Well, that's cool that you can kind of, hear the riff and sort of already, like, that's the thing, too. You guys might even imagine something different than me. Maybe we can all kind of hear the same thing, or maybe from that simple idea, maybe you're hearing something different. I've actually experienced that before. Sometimes I'll have a riff, and I kind of have an idea what the drums are supposed to do, and I'll play with another drummer, and they do something totally different. And sometimes it's like, oh, wow, that was really cool. I didn't think of that. Or sometimes it's like, that's totally not the vibe I was going for. So it is kind of interesting. But that's kind of the thing, too. Yeah, like you can all kind of listen to that and kind of imagine yourself, like, what might this sound like with the full band and when it's a finished kind of product. Jack asking, do you always come up with the music before the lyrics? Mostly, yes. I will say lately, sometimes I'll come up with lyric ideas, and I've written lines before, and I keep record of that stuff. So sometimes I have a few lines that I write, but I almost always write the music first. And again, this is one example, like this little idea that I just showed you guys. I literally have a library of this stuff, a bunch of little recordings like that. And basically what I've done this year so far, I've gone through and kind of filtered out, picked like my absolute favorite, picked the ones that felt like I could do them this year. And that's been a bit of a process, but I kind of start with that. I start with the ideas I do have, and then usually I'll write the lyrics from there. But I almost always start with the music, yes. And yeah, Dynamite saying always start with something simple for sure. Mm-hmm. Indeed. Hey, stay tuned. Appreciate you tuning in. Hope you stay tuned. That riff sounds really good. Well, thanks, Silas. I'm glad y'all are liking it so far. We'll see how it comes out. All right. I think we're going to get back to it. And yeah, Dynamite was saying that's where the collab with others helps spur new directions. Voice Memos is our friend for sure. Yeah, I love the Voice Memos app. I use it all the time. I always have to like clear it up and get it on, get it over to my computer to save room on my phone. Yep, and then Lady C agreeing 100. My two that I've done alone have a very similar sound. And yeah, it's pretty cool what you can come up with whether you're collaborating or whether you're just doing stuff yourself. All right, so here's what we're going to do. So I kind of have the riff, but the funny thing is when I'm first opening the project, that's what we've got here. So this project, I use a program called Logic Pro. It's actually the old version of Logic Pro 9. And this is just an audio software, okay? And what I have here, I'll kind of show you. You can actually see that movement right there. Hey, you can see, hey, my levels of the mic moving. That's just my mic track. I've got this writing drum kit. I program my drums. And then I've actually got programmed bass too. So I'll talk about these things in more detail as I get to them. I've got a piano here that I use for melodies, vocal melodies. So whenever I come up with a melody, I'll actually program in the melody on the piano. And then when I record vocals later, I sort of follow that and sing along with it. And then I've got a tracking guitar. That's what this one is right here. That's the one that I'll play through. And then I will move the recorded track to these tracks here. These are the guitar tracks. They have a few more plugins on them. Plugins are just tools that manipulate the audio and get it to sound, well, however you want it to sound. So tracking is a very basic guitar tone sound, and then I have a slightly more finished sound with the left guitar. That's what this one is, and the right guitar. And then I've got a section for where it says lead left and lead right. Those are lead guitar parts. And then if there is a solo or some kind of lead part that I want straight up the middle, that's what that is right there. So, and then if I decide that the song needs more, like other instruments, I can always add more tracks later. So even though it's a guitar riff, I like to start with the drum beat first. So again, I'll play it one more time, just so you guys can kind of keep it in mind. So I've kind of got this rhythm in my head that... So... So I tend to think very rhythmically. You know, I kind of have an idea what I want the drums to do already. So I'm actually going to start with that. So this is my writing kit. This is a drum programming software, and I'll get it where you guys can see it just a second. And you'll have to forgive me. I'll probably be in the zone for a bit, like doing all this and explaining it, and then I'll catch up with the chat. So yeah, so forgive me if I'm not keeping up too much with your guys' comments. If you're having questions, I'll get to them eventually. But yeah, so what you're seeing here, this grid right here, is it's just a timeline for the beats. And so for example, I can hold on one second. It's a timeline, and over here, these blue sections, these are all the different parts of the drum kit. So at the bottom here, I got my kick drum. And then I got a second kick. I've got a snare, kind of a soft snare, another snare sound. I've got my hi-hat sounds, got toms, cymbals, all that stuff, okay? So if this grid here, I actually learned this recently. You can right-click it, and I can add every downbeat, and it'll add a kick to every downbeat, so... There we go. So there's our kick drum. And you can see as it moves along, it's just playing the notes that I put in. So it's just reading them. And so that's how I can create my drum beat. So I'm going to kind of create that boom, ba-da, boom, boom, ba-da-dum. So 1, 2. So the snare is going to go on every 2 beat. So it's going to go 1, 2, like every other beat here. Okay. And then the kick pattern, it's going to go bump. Ba-dum. So we got a quick kick before the snare. Yeah, like that. Bump, ba-dum, bump. And then we got another kick there. Bump, ba-dum, bump. And then kind of a gap before the next kick. Bump, ba-dum, bump, bump, ba-da-dum. Let me see how's that going. So I think it's... okay, so it's happening a little sooner. Maybe right there, I think is where it's happening. Try that. There we go. Yeah. Bump, ba-da-dum, bump, ba-da-dum. So another kick like right after that snare. All right. And then we'll repeat that. And I think we'll add like a little, like just a little kind of accent at the end, a little snare roll kind of thing. There we go. Let's see what that sounds like. So. There we go. So already you can kind of hear it. So if I were to grab my guitar and play with that. All right, so like something's happening, you know? All right, let's see here. Now, I'm not going to get too in-depth with this, but I do have some other sounds. Like when you're programming drums, there are things you can do to make it sound more realistic. So for example, I could use like other kicks in here, like on these quick ones. I could change it to the second kick, and so that way it's not like super repetitive. And same thing with the snare. Like I can change it to my second snare every other hit, and little things like that can help it sound just a little more realistic and a little less robotic. Yep. But I'm not going to get like, again, this is the creative process, so we're not worried about creating realism just yet. We're just trying to get the idea and bring it to life. So let's get some cymbal stuff in there. Usually I like to start off with 2 cymbals at the beginning, right and left, just a nice big old introduction crash. And I think we're going to do something with the ride bell. I got 2 bells here. Let me see which one I like better. I like them both. I think we're going to go with this one. So we're just going to put it on every downbeat. We're going to get rid of this first one. That's because that's where the crashes are. So here's our beat. All right. So let's add that into our timeline here. Hopefully you guys can see this. Let me check the... Okay, so you guys can't see right now. So what I'm going to do is I'll move this out of the way in a moment. So I can click this little box here, and I can drag... where's the drums? Here we go, right there. And then let me get that out of the way so you guys can see it. There we go. So there we go. I just dragged that beat we made in this little green box here. That is our drum beat. So now if I play the timeline here, it'll cross this, and it'll play that beat. And so we just kind of rinse and repeat that process. So I'm going to finish that beat in just a moment, but we'll catch up with the chat here. Let's see here. Hey, Gary. Appreciate you tuning in. Hope you're doing well. All right, catching up here. Yeah, Dynamite was saying, yes, allow you to focus on your strengths and take pressure off about the other things. Yeah, when you're collaborating with people. Yep. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Gary was saying, looking forward to my set at Kurtfest. Everyone definitely be sure to tune in to Kurtfest. I can't remember the exact date. I've got it written down, but I know that's happening in February. It's coming up fairly soon. Because, yeah, we're going to be in February soon. But I'm looking forward to being part of it. Definitely looking forward to honoring Kurt and doing it for Justine. So definitely excited about that. Guys, definitely be sure to tune in to Kurtfest when that happens over on Camp G-May's channel. All right, let's see here. Digging those new shorts. Thank you, Gary. Appreciate that. Yeah, I've got a few more left, and then I'm going to be working on the next song. And I might be a little short on shorts for a while, but I'm hoping that I'm going to make them a regular thing, and hoping to get better at them as I keep doing them. That last part of the riff. What if you played it more than once? Let's see. Yeah, I'll probably come up with some variations. The riff. It's not going to be like just the one thing over and over again. So it'll it'll evolve, as we get going. And yeah, Dynamite, this is Logic Pro. It's actually the old version of Logic Pro. So it's Logic Pro 9. Now there's Logic Pro X, which I think is now the standard. So it's just called Logic Pro. And thank you, Jack. Yeah, reminding everyone just to like the stream. Appreciate you guys liking. And yes, the drum programming I'm using is stock to Logic. Now, I'm using drum sounds that I made. So over the years, what has happened is I have, as I've worked on projects in this drum machine that I'm able to use, this drum programming software, you can actually make your own sounds. So I've used the finished kick drum sound from previous projects and the finished snare drum sound and cymbal sound, and I was able to make a sample of that. So just like a single hit, like a boop, just like that, and then use that and put it into the drum machine so that I have like a kit that sounds a little more finished. It's not quite finished. There's definitely things you could do to make it sound better, but it gives you something a little more satisfying rather than like a really rough sounding drum kit. And it's the same thing with my guitar tones. I've dialed in settings and then I save those settings so that when I start recording, it's already a pretty good sounding guitar tone. Same thing with the bass. Plus, since I use program bass anyway, it's almost my finished tone aside from having to be mixed specifically for what do you call it? Mixed for the song. And yes, the drums are Ultra Beat. It's kind of an older one. I think New Logic I think it still has Ultra Beat, but I think it has another drum programming software in there as well. Do you use Logic Pro Dynamite, or do you use a different program? You'll have to let me know. Let's see. Yeah, I'm kind of having to skim through the chat a little bit. That's right. Get the meat and potatoes done before you put the gravy on. That's right. Yep. You kind of got to get like a good foundation, and then those details, you start dialing them in. All right, cool. I think we're going to get back. Yep, February 8th. So, hey, thanks for reminding me. That's like really soon. I'm like, it's like February 20th or something, right? It's like, nope, February 8th. So I'll probably start making preparations for that. So thanks for the heads up. Kurt Fest is new. It's Justine's husband, Kurt. He passed away fairly recently, and it was really heartbreaking. And so there's been a lot of channels that have really reached out showing love and support to Justine, and this is something in honor of Kurt and for Justine as well. And so it's just in memory of him. Kurt was very supportive of a lot of musicians online here. Hey, we got Daniel in the chat. Appreciate you tuning in. All right. I think we're going to continue here. Cool. Dynamite says, just got Logic Pro on iPad this week. All right, well, cool. Well, it should still function the same way. Again, mine might look a little different because it's older, but there should be a lot of the same things. So, yeah, I think you might have Ultra Beat on there. Of course, and there's different sounds you can use with Ultra Beat. Okay, let's continue here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to kind of get like a bar first, not a bar, like 4 beats. There's kind of a pattern I like to use when I'm developing drum beats, and again, it's going to depend from song to song, but a lot of times what I like to do is sort of the first part, you open up with the cymbal, and usually I'll just play the beat. In this case, I did add like a little snare at the end. But when we repeat the beat, we're going to get rid of these cymbals at the beginning, and we're just going to stick with the ride. And I think we're going to add like a little fill at the end of this. So I think we're going to do like a or something like that. Yeah, so yeah, right there. So we're going to start on the tom. Gonna get rid of these. Gonna start on the high tom. Let's see. Yeah, we'll do high, mid, and then a kick. Let me make sure I'm doing that right. So. Oh, I started too early. Okay, that's what's wrong. And then kick, snare, and I think we're going to do snare, kick, snare. Whoops. And we'll add a little splash. Or like, China splash. I kind of use the same name for both, but let's see what this sounds like. I think I wanted it to start later, but might hit that bell first, actually. Do this real. And I think we're gonna end on the floor tom. Nope, that's not the floor tom. Yeah, like that. Okay. All right, so that's the second part of our beat. We're going to do 2 more parts. The third part is actually going to be pretty much the same as the first one, but without the without as much of a, like, without the 2 cymbals at the beginning. So let me clear this. Whoops, wrong one. There you go, so you guys can see. So what's kind of cool is I'm going to take this one, this first one, and I'm going to copy it, and I'm just going to paste it here. But I want to get rid of those first 2 cymbals. So if I double-click this, it brings up this piano roll at the bottom here. So you can actually see all the notes that I've put in right there, and you can move them around, and you can change them in different ways. So we're looking for the cymbals that happen at the beginning. They're right here. There's one right there, one right there. And we're going to delete this one, and we're just going to keep this one. It's a little bit softer. All right, so here's what we've got so far. All right, and then we're going to kind of do the second one again, but now we're going to do a bigger fill. And when I was testing this out, I came up with something kind of cool, but I don't know if I can remember it, so we'll just see what we come up with in the moment. I wanted this to be more spontaneous. Like, I was preparing a little bit, but I didn't want to, like, have it all written out before I did it. I wanted to do this in the moment. Because, again, that's the fun part, is just sort of the discovery process. And what's cool is a lot of this is going to be very back and forth. Like, you got to start somewhere, but you might start with a drum beat, and then as you add the guitars, you might say, oh, now that I hear the guitar with it, I want to change something about the drums. And once I add the bass, or I've got an idea for something that would sound really cool, like, you kind of go back and forth as you start adding more elements. So it's never just you do one completely and then the next one completely. It's kind of, you kind of do everything in parallel a little bit. So let's see, we're going to add a big fill. We're going to do like a so let's see. Let's do hi doom doom. Make sure I'm doing this right. And I think we're going to do mid, high, low, and then we'll do a snare. Yeah, we'll do a. Yeah, I'm kind of just making this up as I'm hearing it in my head, you know. So I still got to do this last bit over here, but let's hear what we've got so far. Oh, you know what? I want to start on a crash. I'm going to use this crash here. So, and let's see what this sounds like. Crash might be a little much. Let me try a different one. That wasn't a crash at all. There we go. And then all right, let's see what this sounds like. Try taking this one out real quick. We'll roll with that for now. So we got kind of a nice big fill at the end there. All right, and then for simplicity's sake, again, because right now we're just kind of trying to create for ourselves just like a foundation, yeah, just like a backbone to sort of build upon. So we're not trying to come up with the final drum beat just yet. We're just trying to come up with something we can start recording to. So I'll kind of play with it real quick, but here's what we've got so far. So now that I'm playing with it, I think I want that to sync up with the drums a little bit more. So I tell you what, let me go ahead and just record a guitar track, and then we'll go back to the drums and we'll kind of tweak it so the two work together a little better. And I think I want to add a little more variation there too. Like at some point I'll probably tweak the riff. Like again, it'd be nice to have like an A, B, A, C pattern. So it might be something like. Yeah, I think something like that might be better. And then the last time, do that big one. So I'll record that real quick. I might have to tweak the drums a bit. I might still be able to do that big fill, because I feel like the second fill that I had kind of works with that riff, the do-do-do-do-do-do-doom kind of thing. So let me record that guitar part real quick. That's the nice thing, though. So now that I have a drum set, I can kind of play the guitar, and then I can start to go back to the drums and shape the drums around the guitar riff. So the two kind of influence each other. And actually, I'm going to do one more thing real quick. I just want to make there is a metronome you can have on here. I have it turned down. So I'm going to make a quick little hi-hat count. So give me just a second here. Just a little 1, 2, 3, 4 kind of thing. One. There we go. That'll work. Just get that dragged in real quick. Second. And there's different tools you can use. I'm going to use this scissor tool. So I can cut this in half. I can delete that part, and I can drag the other one over. There we go. So now it's going to count when I go to record. So here we go. Not that it matters. Like, this is just a demo, so you don't have to play it perfect, but let's see if we can get that right. I'm going to stop there for now because we're still kind of writing. Also, I'm going to crouch for a second because I'm kind of hunching over and not feeling awesome on my back. Okay, there's also this loop thing. You can see that green highlighted section that I got right there at the top. And so you can just loop a section and kind of play. So. I think I'm gonna have the drums kind of match that da-na-na, like a ding, like or something like that. We'll see if we can make something like that work. So yeah, what if we did so 2 snare hits first. And we're already coming off of a bell, so hopefully that's not gonna use a different bell, see if that works. and get rid of that first one. Maybe if we go tinganch. Okay, so that didn't work, and that's what you got to do. You kind of got to try stuff. You have an idea, and it's like, all right, that one didn't work. Let's keep the first bell, but let's go. We'll add a kick, and then maybe another snare hit, and maybe we'll do a little splash. There's our chokes. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, something like that. And you know what? Actually, I want this to start with like a little splash as well. And I think I'm going to make that fill kind of match the dun 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 dun. Kind of work with that a little bit. Actually, it kind of already works. It sort of leads into dum. Maybe I'm going to try switching to a da-da-boom-boom, like a, and let's see what this sounds like. Get rid of that first splash there. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Do-do-do-do-dum-dum, you know. We'll roll with that for now. Let's hear the next bit. And yeah, I think that was fine. And I want to get that to fit just a little better. All right, this might get annoying, but I'm actually going to loop just that part. I'll mute the guitars. So, thing. Let me hear how that riff goes real quick. So it starts here. And I think we got to end on that floor tom. Let's see what that sounds like. Whoops. That's supposed to be tom. And I think I still want that to be a snare. And yeah, let's try maybe that. Not quite working for me. Let me go back. Gonna try not to obsess over this for too long. Dun, 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 dun. real quick. Try this real quick. All right, we'll roll with that for now. So I'm going to delete all of this, and we're just going to copy and paste this. All right. Whoops. Don't know where that went. Let me try that again. There we go. All right. So here's what we've got so far. And I'm sorry, I think I've been, man, I was blocking your view the whole time. Sorry. I gotta keep track of that. I can make this thing come and go. Even when it's out of my way, because of the way the software's set up, it'll still display it for you guys. So sorry if you couldn't see. I was working with the all these little keynotes down here. That stuff right there. So yeah, hopefully that was still amusing to watch. All right, let me catch up with the chat a little bit, and then we're going to have a look at the bass and get some bass in there. That's when it really starts to like, okay, now it feels like it's becoming something. All right. I'm not going to go way back. Oh, let's see here. Dynamite's heading out. Hope you're doing well. The drums led me to Logic, way more diverse and edible than GB. I'm trying to think what GB was. Drawing a blank on it, but I'm pretty sure GB is another software that must have been what you used before. Yeah, I see. Okay. Appreciate you tuning in, Dynamite. Hope you enjoy the rest of your week. Thanks for watching for a bit. Leo was saying, I remember watching my friends make songs in FL Studio. Always gave me a special connection to the music. Yeah. Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun process. Quincy, can you try playing the riff over it? I might have missed what you said, unless that was way back or something, because I feel like I do have the riff playing over it. Let's see here. Cool. Well, you guys are doing good just kind of chatting amongst yourselves, so that's good. Quincy, if you ever have a streaming setup for drums, I'd love to see a drum stream. I don't know. I mean, that'd be kind of cool. If you want to see me play drums on a stream, you can tune into my church's live streams. We do live streams every Sunday. That's Nortonsville Church of God. So you can hear me play drums there. I'd have to... I don't know if I'd have the time to set up for that. It would be kind of cool. It would be fun, but I am thinking of setting up for piano at some point, so that like for my stripped down versions of songs, I'm hoping I can have the piano set up and do some piano versions as well. But drums might have to wait a little longer till that, but drums are a lot of fun to play. Hey, Mr. Smith, hope you're doing well. All right, let's hop back into it. So we're going to look at the bass now, and we're just going to kind of program in that bass sound. So this is the bass sound that I've developed, and to be honest, so this is a programmed bass. Yes, obviously, just like my guitar, there are real basses that you can plug in and play, but I've really become a fan of programmed bass for a few reasons. One, it just makes it a lot simpler. Like in the writing process, I don't have to set up another instrument. I don't have to get it tuned. I can just work right here, right now, and just write the bass part. So that's the cool thing about that. Two, it's perfectly tuned. So low notes can be kind of hard to tune on a bass, and it really sucks recording and then realizing, oh, everything was a little out of tune. And plus you got to buy strings for it. I used to record with real bass, and then once I was able to develop a sound here, I actually really like the sound that I'm able to get from the program bass. And for the most part, like once you get a full mix, it kind of blends in well and you don't really notice. Like, I mean, if you do something super crazy, it might be a little noticeable, but you don't really notice that it's a programmed bass. So for my situation right now, I'm a fan. I like them. They're fun to work with, and I like the sound I get out of them. In the future, you know, I'll probably switch back to a real bass. But as of right now, I actually like the sounds that I can get from this program bass. So we're going to take our guitar riff and we're going to program it into the bass here. So I've made a MIDI track, this blue box that you're seeing here, that is the bass, and then the piano roll, that's where I'm going to put in the notes. This is the piano roll, and you can hear the bass sound. Whoa, there we go. All right, this where it says C1 right there, that's a C. That's the lowest note in drop C tuning for a bass. For my guitar, that'd be kind of the low note there. Well, actually, I guess technically guitar, it'd be that one, that's C2. I'm playing on the 3rd fret, so that's going to be that note right there. So there we go. I think we're going to go, yeah, we don't want too long of a note. I think, let me hear, sorry, I didn't mean to mute myself. Let me hear just the bass. Yeah, that might be a bump, but I mean, that might be okay. We'll go with that. Bump, ba-da. And we're going to go to kind of just using my ear to find that high note, bump, ba-da. Now, these higher notes, they can be a little harsh, so I probably will have to go in and I'm going to do something kind of smooth them out. But with this tone, it's going to sound a little harsh, and there are things that you can do to kind of make it sound a little more realistic. Let me loop this section. Okay, there we go. Bum ba da dum, bum ba da dum. Bum ba da dum, bum ba dum. I think that's the first part. Okay, something was off there. Oh, I see. Okay. Gotta slide these up. Stan, if you want to grab your bass, you can learn this riff while I'm playing it, while I'm programming it. Whoops. Man, trying to get this coming out. Whatever. Okay, and then we're going to go lower to that C. Whoop, that was too low. There you go. Yeah, okay. Bum ba da dum, bum ba da da dum da da dum. That's just an octave. Bum. Yeah, there we go. Bump. Bum ba da dum dum da 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 dum. So. And then we want to go da da da. That note right there, bum. A high note. There you go. All right, so there's our riff. Now again, these high notes can be a little harsh with this tone, so I'm going to use a tool called the velocity tool. And what that does is I can select this note and I can turn down the intensity of it. So at first it's going to make it quieter, but then eventually the sound is actually going to get softer. So I've actually got the numbers memorized, but if I turn it down to 70, there we go, it's a little smoother. And then this one, there we go. Might go even further, so. So not quite so harsh, on those top ones, so. And I could do things, to the bottom ones as well to make them a little more realistic, but right now, that's a good starting point. So now what we're going to do is we're going to copy that, and we're going to paste it in the next section right here. Okay, and because the riff is kind of the same, it's just the ending that changes. So it's actually the same notes, ba da bum, but it goes da da dum. So These two are reversed. Whoop. And then we need this lower note. I'm just going to delete that actually. Let me switch back to the pencil tool. There we go. Oh, darn it. My tracking mouse pad, whatever you want to call it, touchpad, can be a little finicky sometimes. It's old. I've had this computer for a while. There we go. So. There we go. Cool. All right. And then we just copy and paste that first one again. And then we're going to do one more. But this one, we need that last bit of the riff. So let me loop this. And then right here is where it's going to start. It's going to go. I actually need to, I need to get the notes. So I'll grab my guitar and I'll just kind of. So it's 6503601. Let's see here. Oh, it's not that high, so. There we go. And let me delete these. All right, let's see if that sounds correct. And they might be just since they're so fast, they might be a little harsh. Let me, so I'm going to soften them a little bit. But not too much. All right, cool. So now, and then we can just take all of that, and we can highlight it, copy it. We're going to paste it. All right, so this is where it starts to get kind of satisfying, so we can hear what the drums and the bass sound like together. Jack, take care. Appreciate you tuning in. And then I'll probably have an ending. Do-do-do-do-do-dum-bum. You know, we'll get an ending in there eventually. Let's see here. Yeah, I was reading the chat, and Daniel was saying post-processing, editing after recording is fun for me. When it all comes together, it's a great feeling. And Daniel's heading out too. Hey, I appreciate you tuning in, Daniel. But yeah, I was going to say, I think that's good too. If you mean like kind of the mixing phase of it, that to me is, I have a love-hate relationship with that part, because the perfectionist in me doesn't like it, because I'm still, you know, I can hear, man, it's not quite coming together right, and I can't get it. This is still my favorite part. Like, I love writing and coming up with the original idea and just making the demos, and sure, it's not like the finished sound. It's not like super polished, but when you can just hear it like, hey, it sounds like a song, it's coming to life. That's my favorite part. And then after that, when you do the proper recording, that's where, for me, I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, so I'm just very thorough with how I go about doing it, and I'm getting better at it. And ultimately, I do enjoy it, but this is definitely my favorite part, just kind of first bringing it to life. All right, so now that we've got that, let's record some proper guitars, and we're going to record two. We're going to record a left and a right guitar, playing that main riff, and then we'll come up with, you know, some melody stuff to put over it. I had some other ideas to kind of play around with. Again, anyone tuning in, don't be shy, say hello. And if you've got any questions about this, just let me know, and I'll do my best to answer them. What we've done so far, we made this drum beat. And then we added bass to that. And all of this was just based off of a riff that I had. The riff, yeah, it's just this. That was it originally. We ended up adding another part. And so kind of modifying it a little bit. But that's kind of what happens. You just start with a simple idea, and as you start piecing it together, you start getting ideas of like, oh, it'd be cool if this did that. And you're trying to get the parts to sort of influence and support each other and playing together. So we're going to record a couple guitars here. Here we go. Of course, I'm ending like that. I don't know if we're going to end it there. We might even carry on a little bit. Let's get one more like that. And right now, I'm not really worried about playing it perfectly because we're in the brainstorming session. We're in the creative part. So we're just trying to get our idea out as quickly as possible and just trying to get like a clearer vision of what we're trying to make here. And then, then later you can go back and polish it up. So let's get one more of those guitars recorded. I played it wrong, but we can just cut in. So we'll start right there, okay? So I can use my scissor tool, I'll cut that, and I'll delete it, and then we're just gonna start recording right there so we can punch in. So that's kind of nice. Like rather than having to play the whole thing again, you can just punch in where you messed up at. All right, there we go. So we've got two guitar tracks. They're each panned left and right. And now that I've dragged them into their proper place, they're going to sound like a more finished tone. So here's what we got so far with both guitars panned left and right. Cool. And thank you, Leo, saying this is a headbanger. Appreciate that. I'm going to do something kind of fun. Now we can loop this, and I can actually just sort of jam over this. I can kind of solo and maybe come up with some cool lead stuff. So, yeah, I'm just going to play with it for a little bit. We'll see what happens. So anyway, you can have fun just sort of jamming with it like that, but might be kind of, yeah. Sounds funky good. Hey, thanks, Fab. Appreciate that. Hope you're doing well. Let's see here. So let's come up with like a good lead part for this. To be honest, that kind of works. We'll have that come in the second time, like right here. So, yeah, I'm going to record that. I think I wanted to do something different the second time. I like that first one, so... Let me figure out what I want to do there. I gotta go. Something like that. Not quite right. It's almost there. Maybe I gotta go sooner. It's just not really... I thought I'd like those, but I'm not really digging those notes down there. Try that. We'll do that. I think I got something. We're going to do that twice, so I'm going to drag that one into one of the lead guitars there, and then we'll do it one more time and put it on the other side. And then, so the way I'm creating my guitar sound, I've talked about this before, but I'm using amp sims. So if I bring up the mixer here, you'll see all these blue boxes, and those are just different plugins, and each plugin creates a different sound. So for example, this highlighted track right here, this is the one I've been recording guitars with. This top blue box, it says Legion. That's an amp sim. Let me get where you can see that. There we go. Oh, that's not right. Let me try that again. Huh, it's not changing for some reason. It's only showing, that's supposed to change. For some reason, it's only showing the drum machine. don't understand why that's not working. All right, let me try something. I'll get it where you can see it. All right, so I'm using an amp sim called Legion. Where is it at? I think this is it. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I think I understand what's happening now. Okay, there we go. So that's it right there. So this has all the knobs and stuff. This is what's creating the distorted tone. But this alone, it's this, and then you also need a cab simulator or a cabinet simulator. So this distorts the guitar tone, and then you have to send it through a speaker to get what we hear for guitar sound. So that's what I'm using. And then you can see all these other blue boxes in these next tracks that I'm highlighting. Let me get this out of the way so you can see that. There we go. Yeah, you can see all those other, oops, sorry. Where did I even put that? I see. Yeah, that's where all the other plugins are that create the sound. Okay, so I'm going to use an amp sim. I've got two different amp sims I can use for lead tones, and I'm not sure which one I like better, so we'll try both, and we'll just see which one sounds better. So this is one called the Ninja. Let's see what that sounds like. Not bad, but I can't say I'm like totally loving that. But let's try this one. This one's called the Emissary. Could be that they're just a little quiet in the mix also. Let me turn it up. Hear the Ninja one. So I'm going to switch that again to this. They're pretty similar sounding. They have like some subtle differences. I think I'm going to go with the Emissary for now. All right, so here's what we got so far. Let me go ahead, I'm going to add an ending to that bass there and the drums. So let me get that last note. Da, da, I think it's right there. Actually, I got to go down an octave with that. Bring that down an octave. There we go. And then I'm going to create just a crash cymbal for the drums. So we need our kick. Switch back to the pencil tool. So I'm going to put in a kick real quick, which is right here. And then we just need a couple crashes. That one and that one. There we go. So now we got like an ending. And I think that bass needs to be a little shorter. Okay, cool. I think we're on to something. Yeah, sorry. Sometimes I'm stopping to think, so. All right. I think we're going to do one last thing, and then we're going to put a wrap on this. So if we were making this a song, I would try to come up with a vocal melody, okay? So let's say this is this might be like the chorus of the song or something like that. I don't know if this would be a chorus or if this is more like a verse riff. I guess it depends on the song. I could kind of hear it being either or, but we're not going to stress too much about that. But let's see if we can come up with a vocal melody for this. So. Actually meant that to end. There we go. All right, so what I usually do when I'm trying to come up with a vocal melody, to be honest, I just kind of sing with it, and I just kind of try out a few different notes. I'm just kind of singing, you know, la-da-da, that kind of thing. And I'm just playing around with different patterns, different rhythms going up and down, and I'm just trying to find something that sticks, something that I'm like, ooh, I kind of like that. That's kind of what I'm looking for. So let's do a little digging, see if we can find something. So. All right, so we could kind of do like a lower part first, you know. Da, 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 thinking it out in my head a little bit. All right, I'm gonna focus on this first part because I kind of like. And I trying to think. You said you'd do it again. I'm waiting again, but I know I can't understand. And I find I'll make it again. Sometimes it helps to kind of sing like just random words. Like, yes, I don't have lyrics yet. I don't know what the song's going to be about, but. And you said I'm waiting again tomorrow to make it amends. And I find and pretend I just can't. Oh yeah, you said, and you said. I'm going to make up some lyrics real quick. I'm going to type them. You're not going to be able to see it, but you said that this was the end. And I'm just making up something to sing so that I'm not having to think about what I'm singing while I'm finding the notes. You said that this was the end. I'm so tired of playing pretend. And you find, and you feel like starting again. You feel like starting again. But I won't wait. Trying to think of a last line. So, you said that this was the end. So I'm so tired of playing pretend. And you feel like starting again. But I won't be hearing. It really doesn't matter, but I won't be playing that game. I know we already said playing once, but whatever. But I won't be playing that game. All right, so we kind of got some lyrics to dance around with. And you said this was the end. I'm so tired of playing pretend. I don't want that to be the same. So I got to find the notes. That's where like the guitar can come in handy. Might work. You said this is I'm so tired of playing pretend. Something like maybe that, yeah. If I can. Of playing pretend. Yeah, we can do that. You said this was the end. I'm so tired of playing pretend. We'll roll with that for now. Of playing pretend. I really like them. Well, thank you. Try those same lyrics in a metal tone. Let's see. Pretend. Yeah, if you mean like singing hard. Right now, I'm just trying to get the melody, so I'm not going to be singing it like I might sing it with more grit if I were to actually do it. Silas was saying, I just had some track and field practice. I'm here. By the way, I sure love how times in your life you put into song. Hold on. By the way, I sure love how times in your life can be put into songs. Yeah, that's the best part of songs. It's just expressing your thoughts, your experiences, and all that stuff. All right. I'm trying to come up with this melody. I'm probably gonna have to put a rap on this soon. But let's see. I'm so tired of playing pretend. There we go. Playing pretend. Of playing. All right, right, so I'm so tired of playing pretend. That's why you kind of got to record it. All right, so here's where our phone can kind of come back in handy. So I'm going to get my phone out, and I'm going to sort of sing along with it so that I can find it. All right, so I'm recording on my phone right now. And you said that this was the end. I'm so tired of playing pretend. And I won't let go, 'cause you know I won't, but I can't just do it again. Oh, that was kind of cool. All right, so let me listen to that. I made a recording. Recording on my phone right now. And you said that this was the end. I'm so tired of playing pretend. And I won't let go, 'cause you know I won't, but I can't just do it again. Oh, that was kind of cool. All right, so I'm going to put that in on the piano real quick. So that's what this is for, this little piano track right here. All right, let me get to where we can work on this. All right, so hopefully you can see. Hopefully you guys should be able to see that. Yeah, bringing up the piano roll, and I'm going to type in those notes. Dun, dun, dun. 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 3. Okay, that's right. And I know. So, da da da. There we go. So, okay. I know. Da 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 da. So, whoops. Sorry. Okay, so we got. I'll do it again. Oh, so. Trying to drag this note down. I'll do it. Actually, that goes up. Oops. So, 1, 2, and I. 1, 2, 3, and I. Whoa. So I think that's what it was. Yeah, I think that was fine. I think I like that better right there. All right, cool. I'm digging that. Okay, drag that. So. It's I want like I don't know. Sorry. All right, sorry I'm not commentating much. I'm trying to just get the notes dialed in. Go away. Okay, there we go. Not you all. I was talking to something on my computer screen. All right, let me figure out. Get this note here. Whoops, not what I meant to do. What the heck? That's not what I'm doing. There we go. All right, I just got to get the right. Darn. Sometimes I accidentally edit the wrong one, but that's okay. I just got to move this over. Okay, what just happened? Man, I think I edited the wrong one. I want to fix those last notes. Put this one here. There we go. Whew. All right. So a little bit of a tedious process, but that piano, that represents our vocal melody. So that's kind of like the part that we would sing. Let's see here. Oh, thanks, Silas, saying you sound great. Is this a new song? So I don't know if you caught that I'm just sharing my process. This is just an example of, I'll kind of show you. Basically what we did was whenever I have an idea, I just record it on the voice memo on my phone. So here was what we started with. So you just start with that, and then I'm showing how I take that and I bring it into a real idea. So here's what we got so far. And then probably what it would do, I mean, we'll see. I'll play with it real quick and see. So again, I mentioned that when you're trying to come up with a vocal melody, I just kind of listen and I just kind of sing along with it, just like la-di-das, or I just kind of make up random words. And and go from there. So that first part is kind of like a verse, and then that next part, we'll see if we can kind of change it to more of a chorus. So something that kind of helps, again, we can use our voice memo app, and I can just kind of sing along with it. And if I hear something I like, that way I have it. So. I think what I want to do for that last bit. And now you know. I know you said it won't be all enough. Now you know you said I won't be Yeah, so I'm just trying to fish around for notes and see if I can find something I like. Yes. Yeah, having trouble thinking something in the moment, but yeah, it's just something you play around with. Sounds great. Thanks, Silas. Appreciate that. I once used voice memo for my first song too, to show someone. Yeah, voice memo, it's a great tool, really helpful when you're just kind of getting ideas down. Man, I'm going to try one more time. Or I'll try a few more times, but we're kind of getting to the end of this stream anyway, so I might have to put a wrap on it. But that's basically it. I'm going to try one more time, see if I can come up with like a good chorus melody. But I'll start with a riff like that, and I just write a drum beat based off of that. So we got our drum beat here. And then I'll kind of add some guitar. And the guitar might influence the drums. Like the fills I do, I might get them to kind of match with the guitar, or I might have the drums influence the guitar part, and I kind of change that. Once I have that, I can dial in both guitars. And so I got both guitars like this, left and right. And then the bass is pretty much just playing the same guitar riff, so. And then I might come up with a lead part that I can just kind of add over top. All right, there's something there. I kind of like those notes. Let me play around with that. And you just said it to me, just said it again, like I don't know if I want to go up or if that's going to be too high. Just said it and I try to hide it, but you said no. And I've tried to fight it, and you said no. And I've tried to hide it. So something like that might work. Let me give that a shot. 1,
said try to hide it, and you said and I tried to fight it.
So it's a starting point. I can't say like I love that right off the bat, but I kind of like some of those notes, and I'm just trying to find the right rhythm. Did I even sing that first part? Let's see.
And you just said it to me, just said it again.
Just said it. Let me see if I did that.
1, 2. And you said try to hide it, and you said.
Now, one other thing to keep in mind. Looks like Silas likes it. One other thing I'm trying to keep in mind is making sure I'm going to be able to hit those notes. Right now, I'm kind of singing in my falsetto, that fluty voice, you know. So, but if I have to sing it, if I'm going to belt it, that's going to be tough to sing, man. So that might just show like I might have to rewrite this song in a different key or something like that. Yes. Sometimes playing it on guitar kind of helps. Let's see. Messing up on those notes. All right, I'm going to loop that section for a second. I got to wrap this up, but I really want to get something. Check 1, 2. Can you hear me? All right, can you hear me now? So I don't know if you can hear me, but everything just crashed. So, which kind of stinks because everything I just didn't save it. So I guess that's the final lesson is while you're working on stuff, like every time you reach a checkpoint, like, yes, that's cool, save it and then continue. But, oh well, it was fun. Okay, Leo can hear me. Yep. All right, good. Y'all can hear me. So I know you guys can still see it, but as you can see now, it's all gone. My software, it crashed. And yeah, I was probably with the streaming and recording, I was just putting too much on it, and it crashed. And everything I did, it's gone. So there we go. There might be some files somewhere. Maybe if I did some digging, I can track them down. But I'm not too worried about it. Technically, I still have it. I have this recording from this stream. So yeah, Leo saying, no, why? It was so good. Well, again, I still have this stream, so I can go back and I can watch this stream and I can just recreate it. But it was coming along. But either way, that was probably my sign that it's getting late. That's just an example. Like I just really love. It's my favorite part. I love songwriting, and so I can spend forever just kind of tinkering and just kind of trying different things out. And again, it's just a discovery process. You're just kind of fishing for notes and just trying to find those notes that work. So we'll see. Well, thanks, Leo. Yeah, saying yes, please. Again, I like it. I don't know. I definitely like it. I don't know if I'll turn it into a full song or not, but I think it came out pretty cool, and I'll definitely hold on to it as an idea. And so we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll revisit it. I'll definitely make a little demo of it and add it to my library of ideas. But yeah, I think I think that's the sign that we're gonna have to put a wrap on this. So guys, I appreciate you all hanging out with me. Hopefully you all enjoyed watching that. And yeah, that's just a little bit of my process when it comes to songwriting. That's just how you start, with just a simple idea that you record on your phone. And that's kind of what I do to go through and just kind of bring it to life. And yeah, it's just kind of fun to experiment and play around and just sort of hear it come to life and hear what it could be. And there's so much more we could do in that. You know, that's just one section of the song, but you still got the rest of the song to go. And there's so many different ways. You know, we could have like a section where the guitar cuts out and it's just the bass. We could have a section where there's a guitar solo. We could have new chords. It doesn't have to be that same riff over and over. It could eventually go to a different section. Like I'll even show you real quick. Yeah, let me see here. So I know you can't see it. You can hear my guitar though. We could do like a little chord thing, like a... Playing the wrong chord, sorry. So. You know, so there's like so much more stuff you could do. But that's the fun part of songwriting, is just playing and just seeing what you discover and what comes out of it. So cool. And Silas says, I'm about to write another song called Sea of Forgetfulness. Awesome. I'm definitely looking forward to hearing some new music from you. Leo was saying it's really cool just to sit here and watch you make new stuff. Well, I'm glad you enjoy it. I'll definitely, going to do more segments like this and stuff, but I'm glad you enjoyed it. And yeah, we'll see what happens. So guys, I think that's going to be a wrap it for this stream. But if you guys enjoyed it, again, let me just share a few things. I really appreciate you watching. I really appreciate you all showing support. And if you'd like to continue to support me, I'm just going to give you a few ways to do that. It's just as simple as ESP. So ESP stands for E, engage. So one of the biggest ways you can help me is just by engaging with my with my content. So liking the video, leaving comments, and just engaging with any of the videos, the shorts, the music, listening to my music on Spotify, engaging with it really helps. The second thing is the S, sharing. So if you share my content so that more people can be aware of what I'm doing, I'm trying to grow my audience. That's my biggest goal. So sharing my music, sharing these streams, sharing my videos, inviting people to the stream, stuff like that really helps out. And then the last one, P, is provide. So if you want to show some financial support so that I can work towards doing this as a career, that link that I posted you can find a merch store, get yourself a cool piece of merch, like a hat or a hoodie or something. There's a virtual tip jar if you'd like to support me that way. You can also download my music for free, or if you'd like to pay something for it, you have that option as well from my Bandcamp. So those are a few different ways you can support me just from that link I posted there. So guys, thank you so much for hanging out. I hope you all enjoyed it. I certainly did, and I always enjoy spending time with you all. I hope you have a wonderful evening, morning, afternoon, night, whatever time it is, wherever you are in the world. Until next time.